The following is a fan-based discussion. All materials discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, Saban Entertainment, and Subaru Productions.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tokucast Reviews.
Den-O month.
Den-O month.
Part 2.
Part dos.
Yes. Welcome to the first of the 3 movies that we're going to do. We're going to do 4. But the Den-O Decade one is basically a Cho Den-O movie. So we're just going to go ahead and give him a review to himself.
Fair enough. So, we're going to start with Kamen Rider Den-O, I'm Born.
Yes, we're doing 2 this week. I'm Born. And
the Den-O Kiva movie that had no Kiva in it.
Yeah, it's in there for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
About, yeah. Now, as we said, go watch the movie. This is the movie we were referencing, the I'm Born movie, when they were just like, hey, we're just going to take all these Ryotaros at a time and go to the climax of this big thing. And
we're going to introduce a Rider that looks like he has crocodiles all over his body.
Yeah. He's like, the whole thing is we're going to bring back, the primitive, what's the word I'm looking for? The old train, the dinosaur train that can go through and start destroying time.
Jurassic?
And all that stuff. Basically, it's a Jurassic train. It's the one that preceded the one from Go Launcher.
Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Go Launcher.
Oh, we are getting close.
I might be sick that week.
You won't. But yeah, we are introduced to Gao, who was also in the show for that one episode.
Gao. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's Fang King. It's Ga and O, which is short for Oja.
Which is short for stupid.
Let's go. Speaking of which, this guy is played by the commander from Ultraman Gaia. He was also at the time the oldest Kamen Rider, oldest actor to play a Kamen Rider. He was in his mid-50s. Let's talk about his outfit.
It's gold.
It is very goldish bronze.
It looks stupid.
I don't mind it.
I hate it.
It's the shoulders.
Really, for me, it's the head.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't mind it. It's wide. Very wide. He's swole. He worked out.
It's the head and the fangs that go up from the chest for no reason.
Yeah, it could be worse. They could do a recolor of this in another movie. They did that. That happened. But yeah, in this one, Ryotaro, as I said, has been constantly taken out of time to fight the gods line in the Edo period. That's the whole thing.
Because if gods needed something, it was a train.
Yeah, that's the whole goal of Gao in this one. Gao ends up taking over the Denliner at one point, and that's basically the entire purpose of this movie. I do have an issue with this.
What's that? Besides it existing in period, but go ahead.
But you had to make sure you've seen it first. Have you seen this movie? I just want to make sure. Have you seen the movie?
Yes.
You've seen the movie.
I had a choice. Between him and Den-O, I had no choice.
Yeah. But, trapped in the year 2000, Ryotaro and Hana end up encountering Ryotaro's younger self at age 10 after Gao ends up taking...
I'm holding in so many bad jokes about what's going to happen next year.
Stop it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Stop holding it in? Okay, let's go.
No.
This is all cut anyway.
But yeah, age 10. We end up meeting the... what are they called?
Because this show didn't have enough child actors.
Yeah, Kotaro. And it's weird because we end up getting a younger Ryotaro later on. And I'm just like, okay, but why?
Child actors, why the fuck?
Now...
My song is done.
Ryotaro has lost his memory at this point of everything related to Den-O. As a result, Momotaros cannot possess him, but they end up meeting up with Sieg, and he can.
This is just sounding like some bad soap opera.
It also
he has amnesia, and he is visiting himself from the future.
This is also what ends up happening in the very next episode after this with the climax form.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of this.
Yeah.
To show that can actually happen. But luckily, Sieg is there, and so he ends up using wing form to end up fighting Gao, and they end up using the Zero Liner for that as well.
I'm gonna do it every time.
The Taros, after being reunited, end up fighting a whole bunch of ninjas in the Edo period.
As you do.
By
the way, it's Taroses or Tarosai. That's
nope, just Taros. Gao ends up succeeding in getting the Gao liner and travels forward to December 26, 1988, the day Ryotaro was born, to make an example out of him and erase him from the timeline. Ryotaro and Momotaro are forced to fight him and is banned until Yuto arrives with the past Ryotaros he borrowed for the climax scene.
I have a question.
What's that?
Has no one in this show ever watched Doctor Who? And just how bad doing shit like that could be.
That he's the bad guy.
But creating a paradox, entire universe goes bye-bye, but anyway.
He's the bad guy. But, yeah, they don't...
Although, to answer a question somebody said in the last video, yes, me and Marcus love Doctor Who. Somebody asked.
Love it so much. But yeah, they borrowed it for the climax scene. Here's the big problem with this.
They did this before O's did.
It's not even that. It's the fact that they did it better in the final countdown movie.
Yeah.
It's basically, in this case, just them just fighting against a monster each.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll talk about that more in the final countdown movie. Den-O and Gao end up fighting. Gao ends up being destroyed by sword form, and they end up running the Denliner through the train, the God train, and blow it up.
As you do.
And Ryotaro, they end up taking him back. He gets to see the face of his parents for the first and last time. And Seek and Kotaro also return to their respective timelines as well, resuming their places in history. When Ryotaro returns to the present, he finds a drawing of his parents in the picture frame where the original photo once was. I am not a big fan of this movie.
Me neither.
It feels lackluster for how much they built it up in show. And that's, like, it's... How do I explain this? What came before this? The Kabuto movie, which had what felt like a much bigger climax at the end of it. That was a true climax scene. When they were fighting up on the space station.
Yeah, but even Kabuto's movie wasn't good. But
it wasn't good.
It built up to something... Yeah, but the thing is that it built up to it. We got a good final fight. But with Den-O, it was just kind of mad the whole way through.
Yeah. It's mostly because of the fact that they introduced that whole concept of time travel in the show. So it sort of ends up subtracting itself from the movie and just how big this
I'm going into the past.
Yeah.
We can do that too.
And like, even though the Denliner ends up getting taken, you know, having the Zero Liner, so I'm just like, there's a lack of tension there.
Yeah.
And then you end up getting to
the stakes were not high.
And then you end up getting to that climax scene where just like, we're just going to go ahead and grab a whole bunch of Ryotaros so the other images can possess them, thereby forgetting themselves in, climax form. But then this whole thing ends up happening, and I'm just like, I feel really underwhelmed by this climax scene. It doesn't feel big enough. Yeah, the Taros end up having that scene where they fight all the ninjas prior to that, but it still wasn't even that good.
You know what would have been great?
What?
If throughout the show, we see a Taros get taken to this moment, and they're each taken through different moments in the show to build up to this moment in the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, they did that with Ryotaro. Ryotaro.
You're still having trouble, aren't you?
It's so hard.
But you know what I'm saying? But, see with the other ones, to kind of, what's going on? Where are they going? And then they're just coming back, and they're like, don't worry about it. So it would give us that thing of, it would, just something.
Yeah.
Give us something of substance.
I'm not a big fan of this movie.
That's the problem with this entire show, in my opinion. There's no substance.
The characters are great. They're funny, they're entertaining, but then we end up getting to, moments like these where they try to make it to be so much bigger than what this show really has any right to be.
It needs layers.
Yeah. Like an onion. Or an ogre. Or that bird outside.
Anyway, the movie was kind of really lackluster.
I'm just not a...
But we still have to say this because Den-O makes us watch the movie!
Alright, let's go ahead and get on to the Den-O Kiva movie, the Climax Deka. This is technically the first of the crossover movies. Because they didn't...
That explains a lot, because Kiva's not really in it.
They didn't do one for Kiva Decade, technically, although he was at the beginning of Decade's show. But this is technically the beginning of the...
We just have to be careful if we say that guy's name any more times. He might show up.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Moving on.
But yeah, this takes place after the events of Den-O, obviously, because Kiva's in the movie. And Ryotaro and the Denliner gang have a detective agency set up called the Denliner Police. And they end up chasing the Pink Rabbits, Imagine. Hana is Kohana by this point. She's a little girl. Matt, wake up.
I'm not asleep, damn it. I'm trying not to be angry.
Angry at what?
Detective agency?
Yeah, worse things have happened.
True, but still stupid.
But yeah. Soon after
Hate
that,
Den-O.
because they end up having a thing with the regular police, they are joined by Kazuya Suzuki, who is played by the other Kuga from a decade.
Who hasn't been the other Kuga in decade yet.
Yeah. And he's also, Kampai Senshi after he's red.
Worst show ever.
I love that show so much. It's so great. But
So bad.
they're going out and they're trying to stop an evil organization, which they don't really give a name to. They just call it an evil organization. That's it. But
Making a joke about the lazy writing would just be redundant at this point.
yeah, they're trying to go out and, just find out and arrest the evil organization. Of course, Ryutaro's ends up taking over. Ryotaro, for this one, he goes on an arrest spree with his dancers. And later on, Ryotaro and Kazuya end up encountering Wataru, Kiva himself.
As he's gardening.
Yeah, that was his whole thing, trying to get the stuff for his violin varnish. That was the whole thing in the show for his character. This is the part that I really wish they would have expanded more on. Because I would have loved
To see Kiva more in this movie?
Not just that. But for Ryotaro and Wataru to have more interactions. Because this is really it. Like, it's funny and all, because Momotaro's accidentally ends up possessing Wataru at one point, and that's great. But yeah, I really wish they would have had more of them interacting. And what makes it worse is that even though they're like facing each other, the camera's behind one of them almost always. So it doesn't ever seem like it's really them talking to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they do the side-by-side shots every once in a while, but I'm just like, I'm gonna need y'all to talk more. You're both Kamen Riders. Please do more about this.
Such a disappointment.
Let's see, Zeranos has infiltrated the evil organization. And you end up finding out about Den-O, which is basically just...
Den-O.
not Den-O, Negataros.
Which is essentially just sword form with some purple in it.
Yeah, and Momotaro's with slightly bigger horns of purple with red swirls. It's a lazy rewrite.
You can see my excitement levels.
Yeah. But Kazuya ends up recognizing the wanted criminal as a Seiya Kuroki. They end up having this fight later on that's just stupid, and I don't like it. Kazuya ends up trying to arrest him, but he ends up getting ambushed by the clowning machine. However, a drunk Deneb and Naomi provide a distraction for the clowning machine. I love drunk Deneb, by the way. He's like probably the funniest thing about this movie.
He's the only good thing about this movie.
It's true.
Let's not sugarcoat it.
Now, at the Denliner is like... There's some other good parts about this. Yuto ends up getting taken over by Urotaros. And Urotaros isn't managing like woo this woman who's part of the evil organization, but she and Yuto end up having a pretty good choreographed fight, by the way. Some of the fight scenes in this are good. However, anything with Kohana is not good. She ends up fighting a bunch of adults in this movie, and I'm just like, please. And then there's this obvious one part where she does like this roundhouse jump kick, and it's obvious CGI. It's painful. I don't like it.
Are we done talking about this stupid movie?
After Kazuya apologizes for getting almost everyone killed after he was captured, and explaining his reasons to be avenging his father Kazuma, Yuto ends up revealing Negataros' plans. The Denliner police decide to attack him at full strength. She sets his plan. Negataros finally goes ahead and just tries to actually do something. Den-O and Zeranos and basically everybody is fighting them. There's like this whole sort of group battle, but once again, it's not really that big. So it's sort of contained. And on this, Kiva ends up arriving and they beat Den-O with a double rider kick. And he ends up going into the Denliner and they blow it up. And they end up going back in time so Kazuya can see his dad. His dad, by the way, is played by Chalice.
Oh.
And then end up meeting Otaya in this timeline as well. because he has to be in this. He's in Build now, but he has to be in this too. And Ochiyo is the best thing about Kiva. So, you can't deny that. It is a true statement. He was the funniest part about that. Basically, this movie just exists. And it's not really that good. There are some good moments, but they're few and far in between. And I'm just not a big fan of this movie, like, at all.
Not even a little bit.
No. It's like, as I said, there are some good things, and really none Negataros can, like...
I would rather watch Kiva.
And I like the half of Kiva, the half that takes place in the past. Not so much.
Okay.
Present.
I like the present half of Kiva until, like, episode 30.
And then it gets cringy.
And then it gets a little cringy. But until then, it was a very good show. We will get there next time. After Den-O month and after the next Sentai we have to review, which is Gekkyurin.
And Ultraman.
And fucking Ultraman.
Yep, Ultraman, because we're excited. Jacob and I are. But yeah, that's basically the end of this one. It's like, since there were just so little Kiva.
So little Kiva for a movie advertised as the Den-O Kiva movie.
And the fact that you end up seeing, what is the name of his transformation device?
Kivat?
Yes, Kivato. Who was voiced by
Joseph.
Yes.
Joseph
Joestar. Oh my god!
Gabu!
It's just, they end up advertising so much, and I'm like, this is Kamen Rider's first really big crossover. Exactly. And then it just doesn't pan out.
That's fucking awful.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of this movie.
No, but you know what's not awful?
The Saraba Den-O movie.
That, and all the tweets I'm getting.
I fucking hate all of you. I want you to all be aware of this for the things that you were tweeting at us. You and those damn pictures, you're all awful.
I think the best one is him with Ghost holding baby Aka Red.
I hate you.
Not Aka, is it?
It's Aka Red. I mean Aka Ninja.
Aka Ninja.
I hate you. You're all awful.
Keep them coming.
God damn it.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I had a rough week this week. I went out to dinner, went into my phone to 17 Twitter notifications, and saw all of this, and I had the biggest smile on my face. Thank you, everybody.
I hate this. But yeah, let us know what you think about these movies in the comments below.
And what you think about hashtag Marcus Loves Ghosts.
Don't do that. Don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon. Become a patron.
Become a Patreon, subscribe, like, share us, follow us on Twitter.
Facebook.
See all the pictures. Facebook.
Where there will be no pictures.
Damn it, I need to fix that.
Don't.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye. You all suck.